Carl. Here comes your first buddy now.
What's up, guys?
Whoa, Chief. How about you watch where you're walking here?
How about you pay attention to where you're standing, asshole?
What's going on, Cord? Cord, I think you're our biggest fan. You know, I'm gonna say it. You know, I say a lot of things. Most of it is probably not true, but there's a good potential that you are our biggest fan. Thoughts? Thoughts on this, guys? Guys?
Yeah, you can see the doggy's butt. Where is the button?
Is it? What's going on, buddy?
Oh! I fell down today. My body hurts. I went and fall down. Oh my God, Lotus. What's going on, Visit? It's been a hot minute. What's up, baby? Oh, baby, what's going on, baby? Right at the beginning of the stream, too. Look at that. Usually, everybody raids me right when I'm about to get off. That's the usual streamer luck right there. Doggies! I'm not painting my doggies, my doggos. Like you paint your doggos. I can't paint my doggo. That's illegal. It's against the law. Breaking the law. You did. You timed it literally. You couldn't have timed it any better. Thanks, man. How'd your stream go? You been feeling better? Also, Lotus, how did that underpass, that overpass thing? You said you were gonna do something to some people under an overpass or something. How did that go? That's what they call a callback. You see, I pull that on Kara to prove that I pay attention. Whenever she says stuff to me, she's always like, "Dylan, you never pay attention to me," or "Dylan, when are you gonna pay your alimony?" And "Dylan, when are you gonna do this?" "Dylan, when are you gonna do that?" And then I have to tell her, "You look pretty," and that solves the issue most of the time. Dogs are I am okay. I've been good. I had a weird day, say the least. I don't know. I don't want to say it was rough, but I definitely I had a weird day. That's for sure. This morning when I was getting ready for work and all that, I couldn't really sleep very well, so I woke up early and I was doing stuff upstairs. So I have a cup of coffee. I'm coming downstairs, and I walk into the kitchen, getting ready to like kind of start getting dressed for the day, and I put my foot in what I assume might be the liquid that comes out of dogs, and I slipped, and I took the coffee cup and I smashed it across my nose, or my face, I guess, and I broke the cup. I smashed myself across the face. So I started bleeding, and I was like, "Jeez, this is a." It wasn't a great day. It wasn't a great start to the day, but I have since managed to salvage it. I think. Anyway. I've been feeling a lot better. I've been feeling a lot better. I don't know if it sounds more poetic than I slipped in my dog's pee. Okay. Alright, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. Check my mic. What's wrong with my mic? Check. Does the mic sound okay? Dogs were all heard. Time perfectly. Almost here. Open here. Lotus show up. Yeah, Lotus is here. Alright. That was your thing. Well, it is my thing in some ways, but you know, sometimes I like to branch out for others. I'm a giving kind of person. I was bleeding. That's true. I had a big mess to clean up. Yeah, I wasn't happy. The liquid that comes out of a dog's, he wasn't very kind. I was just quiet. I didn't say anything mean. Those, here we go. Those straw arms couldn't save the mug. Well, no, they were too girthy, too meaty as I smashed it across my face. Like something. Okay. I was not mean. I was just quiet. Anyway, so we got to paint a couple more Dutch for the event this weekend. I am doing a demo. I'm running the event, so I say the event. It's like a little tiny tournament. But there's a guy coming there to play the demo of the game, so I'm going to let him play my usual army. So I got to finish some Dutch guys in order to have a force to play against them, because Kara's going to be playing in the event. So I'm continuing the Bumble Boys. The Bumblebee Boys. Look at a bubble bath, because they're all wearing black and yellow pants. They're all a bunch of pirate boys wearing black and yellow pants. And I gotta say, it looks real good. I don't know why. I knew it was a boarding list. It's not a boarding list. But I still felt your anger. He's stealing my Dutch. Her Dutch, yeah. The Dutch that I have painted and only I have painted. Anyway, so the first one got done. I gotta finish 3 of them tonight. I'm gonna buy a blister of them as soon as I get to the store the day of the event to beef it up, because I don't have enough Dutch to fully have a force for it. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to finish my frigate, which is that over there. So the boat, the actual boat itself is done. I just gotta finish the mast and then do the rigging. Even if I just do basic rigging, it'll be fine. But the boat itself actually looks gorgeous. I just have to finish the figurehead, which is a big octopus. Octopus. 63 people. Welcome to the stream, guys. And if you guys have any questions about anything, please ask. I love teaching people. Anyway, so they are still mine. No, that's not true. So if I'm playing a bunch of BS, that's why. BS. I'm the one that bought all of them. I bought all of them and I painted all of them. They're mine. I knew it was a boarding list. You son of a gun! Ah! Just because you bought and painted and built, and I'm having, I'm having great. Anyway, so we're gonna paint a couple more of these guys, and then if we have time at the end, I'm always painting stuff for other people. That's my curse, my eternal curse. So at Adepticon, 2 Adepticons ago. It wasn't last year. It might have been the year before. Ernesto, he got some chibi. Actually, I guess it was he got the alien. I guess he got the alien the first year, and then I think he picked this up at last Adepticon. So this is one of the Predator from the movie, the Epitomus. The self-titled movie Predator. You may have heard of it. Anyway, so yeah, we got to finish this boy up. Give it to him. I try and always make sure I have a. It's my my cross to bear. It's not a curse, I guess. Don't even get on me, Chris. I did you a favor today. I made sure the accounts were straight. Don't even start, bud. I don't want to hear nothing. I did you a favor. 1 Adepticon, 2 Adepticon, 3. Alright, so yeah, I've been working on these guys between doing stuff for work. And you know, they're coming out pretty good. So this guy's almost done. And then this is the third one I gotta do. Obviously he's not quite as close, but I do think I did the base with the wood. That's for some reason that I always feel like that is one of the steps that just takes the longest. And yeah, we're just kind of in it for the long haul. So yeah, what's been going on in your guys' lives? Hopefully you guys haven't slipped and fallen and busted your face. What are we painting on your stream, Mr. Visit? An Auric from Rivenstone. I feel like I've heard that game before. Love all of you, mostly Dr.D, but I'm falling in the oblivion of corporate boss girl a little early time. That's cool. Fair, nothing, sunshine, and moonbeams. Fair. And it's, you know, painting stuff for other people is not a curse. It's just, it's a, you definitely notice it. I'm sure anybody here who has been a commission painter for people, when you commission paint for other people, your own stuff doesn't get painted. So it's kind of weird. So you feel like you're working a lot, and then eventually you're like, wow, I've painted a lot. There's probably a lot to show for it. And then you look around your house and you're like, oh, nothing in my own house is painted. And then when you go to events, people are like, Dylan, why isn't all your stuff painted? And I'm like, listen here. Listen here, bud. How about you mind your business? Because that has happened to me for the like the past 3 events. I go to them and they're like, Dylan, why isn't all your stuff painted? I got big dreams, you know. I've reached a point where I think people who know me are gonna be kind of shocked. I got something big to say. Do you allow links? If you're a mod, yes. Hold on. Unfortunately, I don't have a say in that matter. That's more of a Tim thing. Send it to me on Discord. I can post it, whatever it is. If you got something you want to do. Although, actually, and the thing is, send it to me on Discord. I can post. Don't listen to that. I'm gonna do a shout out for Visit. Although, if you haven't heard of Visit at this point, I don't know what you're doing. And Lotus. Lotus is also somebody you probably want to go watch because all Easy stuff is painted. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all of Easy stuff. That's true. All of his stuff is painted. I suppose that's true. that lucky little biscuit. I post the link. I know I've heard that game, Riven. I know I've heard that before. The second Battle Master. Thanks for raids. Stole by stream. I like the sword. Yeah, that sword looks ace. That purple into the black, that looks great. I love that. Oh, these are what is gamers? What is this stuff? Huge miniatures. Yeah, the huge miniature stuff. I love these things. Originally owned by Broken Animal. The man, the myth, the reason Dr.D is dressed as a maid. Do what girls send pics. Working on redoing my office. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, the office redo thing. That's always a good feeling when you can finish that. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. Like I said, the sword immediately draws my eyes. It looks great. Great job, man. Oh, and it looks like you've been working on other stuff too. You went with a simple basing, huh? You just want like the grass and flower tufts. Can't beat the classics, man. All you're missing is the goblin green. The goblin green on the side of the base. And you know what, Chris, you're absolutely right. We should all live to be like Eazy-E, you know? He's so industrious. somehow all of his stuff is always painted. That's crazy. I know, I must have seen it at like a con or something. I mean, it's very, like, Warcraft, you know? Like, I'm sure that was probably, like, a major inspiration. Also, it was good to see Barb popping back on. I finally had a chance to actually jump into a stream because it actually happened on my lunch break. I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually go in and say hi. So, anybody got anything controversial we should talk about today? Everybody loves a little controversy. That's obviously not politically motivated, of course. We don't want that. Not that here. Like, do we know if the new spiders from MCP are any good? Because, what, the new box is Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, and Ultimate Miles, right? I think that's it. Oh, Predator? I'm not sure if he's in that same box. It's funny, because Predator definitely looks like an old version of himself, where he looks like he's wearing his pajamas. Like any good spider villain. It was a Kickstarter, and I think Broken Anvil went out of business because of wonderful. That lurks there, I have to go to the pharmacy. Have fun. See you when you get back. Tell Rain I said A. I'm one of the privileged few that's actually got to visit in person. What a guy. What a guy, that visit. Also, if anybody here is actually interested in improving their gold, I have noticed that if you started to wash it with a green, it makes it look... Well, I say started, I've been doing it for years, but I noticed that you get a much more, like, antiquated gold if you wash it with a green. I noticed that it highlights well. Nice being able to raid you again. Yeah, no, it is nice, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's a shame you can't go to more cons. Well, it's a shame I can't go to more cons. Definitely wish we could hang out more. Eyeball time. That's my always recommendation. A little micron pen action. 0.003 or 0.005. I've noticed you can do any size. As long as it's small enough to actually get in there. One thing I have noticed is that it's a good idea to put your finger behind the model, because it helps you get the fine tip in there. And then I always draw myself an eyebrow. It's quite convincing. Makes it look much more convincing. I don't know what it is. Eyebrows. It's just something that models don't have, and it looks weird when they don't have it. Or at least, as soon as you see a model with eyebrows, and then you see a model that doesn't have them, you're like, oh, actually, man, that is a hugely noticeable difference. And we're gonna do a little 5 o'clock shadow on this one. You find yourself a nice gray. So we're using a little bit of Pro Acryl Cool Gray, because if you have a beard, you must be cool. I'm whipping out the Micron, baby. Heck yeah, baby. And then you just take a real watered down paint and put it where beards are. Give yourself a little 5 o'clock shadow. Make sure it doesn't pool. Otherwise, it'll look a little weird. Sometimes I put a little bit on the neck. Not everyone is lucky enough to not get neck beard. Because my goodness, that is some itchy stuff. I'm told that women really love it when they get to like take their bra off at the end of the day when they get home. Like that's like one of the biggest, like some of the nicest feeling. But let me tell you, when you have a neck beard that's been irritating you all day, and then you just go into the bathroom and shave that thing off, whew, that is a good feeling. Or just the neck, maybe too close to. Wow. Also, so you got to explain something to me, Chris. Yeah, Chris. You said it was my boat game. I think it's our boat game, sir. What do you mean, your boat game? What? You said what, mate? Hi, Chris. By Chris, I mean Mike. I was just talking to Mike. No. I'm stupid. I was just talking to Chris. Hey, did any of my stuff show up at Webway, Mike? It was just a fling. Just a fling? What? Jeez. Jeez. You don't know. I'm saying Tuesday. You weren't there Tuesday? I thought you worked there or something. I mean, it's just the, new Bushido and a couple Blood and Plunder things. So I guess the question is, did they get GCT and did they get Firelock? I finally got my Firelock order today. So with the J. I mean, I won't lie. I'm interested in buying French. So the Jamies have a weak moment. That's cruel. I don't know, I wasn't there Monday, so maybe they did, no idea. 80 viewers, but they're so quiet. It says 80 on yours? It says 60 on mine. They just like to lurk. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You just parked that cute little terrier of yours right here.
You know, enough, shore leave.
Also, probably right after the stream, as I'm drinking my tea, I'll probably do that new redeem we were talking about, Chris. But no, in all seriousness, no, Chris, if you don't want that stuff, I would gladly probably take it off your hands in some form or another. Because I do want French, and the more boats I have, the better. Because I can always give them away. Like, I can paint them and sell them or whatever. Not sell them. Give them away as prizes or whatever. So if you don't want to clog in your house, I would do something to get them. I would either pay you or exchange, or you know how this works. You talking to me, Karen?
Dr.D spending $.
All the money that I spend on hobby stuff is 100% a different allocated fund, which has a limit on it. I physically am unable to spend money that I do not have it. I have become hobby neutral. I never thought I would say that, but I've finally become hobby neutral. Not to say you were actually being accusing of it, but I actually feel really good saying that. Yeah, just think about it, Chris. And if you ever wanted to play again, you could just use it. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. Did you just not like the game? Or are you just in one of those like situations where you're kind of like,
I know,
too many
but
games?
I still gotta nag a little sign of the horn's light skin tone.
Light skin tone.
I'm light, I'm sorry.
I'm also very light. I can't help it. I learned it by watching you.
Not a very tan pirate woman facepalming light skin tone.
He mostly sails in the North Sea, okay? Okay. Alright, well good, yeah, I'm glad. I want you to hold on to it. But I definitely don't want it to just sit there and not get used if you're never going to use it. Because if I'm going to play, because Captain Kidd, he uses a lot of French.
But I do aspire.
Glad to hear it. I don't know what that means. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Forgot a little spot. If that means expire, then good night. if that's what you were trying to say. Punchline is ruined. So I did finish the robots from last stream. And I gave them to Chris today. He said he really liked them, which is good. Goes to show you, we paint good stuff here. Somebody did me a really big favor. He doesn't come in here very often, but he did me like a real big favor. Real big favor. So I'm probably going to be playing some fantasy to make up for him. So I have a feeling we'll be painting some old world on here. Not too long. Egg my life moths.
You just packed that cute little terrier of yours right here.
You know, enough, shore leave.
A little hat. Here, a little hat. So we're doing like a dark brown. So we start from a black base.
His hat is the best.
The best? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't even know what you would call this hat. The Dutch, the models are so good. They have these cute little hats. Like, they have these little top hats, you know? Like, they're like such murder looking... I mean, they're literally murder hobos. I mean, look at that thing. It's like a little top hat, and he's got a friggin' gun, you know? Like, this guy... This is my favorite Dutch sculpt, because he's wearing his little top hat, and he's got his knife out. He literally looks like...
Best.
He literally looks like a guy on, like, a train. He looks like a hobo train. Well, he's not the train. He looks like a hobo on a train, and he wants to stab him. He's like, give me your money. Which I don't know why. I adore it. Well, I do know why. Because it's awesome.
Yep, he's the best.
The best. The best. The bears. The best.
He's got stripped pants. That's the bomb.
He does. The cool thing about the Dutch sculpts is that it does actually come sculpted in. This one's good. I don't mind the lines on this one, but the lines on this one, you really got to take your time because they're so much smaller. And you'll notice that in the hem of the pants, they'll change angles. So I have other like sculpts. You can even kind of tell on his back, on his left butt cheek, I guess, in your view. You notice how it kind of like has a little bit of like a Y in there.
So much sexier.
It's super hard to follow, and I think it really pays off when you do it. Like I think it makes it look really good, but yeah, it can be kind of a pain in the butt trying to keep your eye on that line. So if you go in there and you paint one of the colors too thick, so if it's going to be like if it's a striped colored pants, it has to be two colors. If you do one color too thick, it'll kind of clog up that line between them, and it's really hard to tell which is which. Why does my paint keep drying out? What is happening?
Night night all. Love you.
Night, Carol. The world needs a hobo skirmish game. Railway rage. Temperance mobs and we gotta have the hobos. Super hobo style. That's actually a pretty good idea. There is a Prohibition gangster era game put on by Great Flight Games, I think is what it's called. Like one of the gangs is the actual Peaky Blinders. No.
I brought you some water because you were complaining about your paint drying out.
Thank you. Good night.
The pretty doggos over here, but the camera's not pointed at them. They're just sleeping over here under the table.
It's pointed right at him. So, would this be like a Mordheim style game, Mr. Chris? Like, would it be like a campaign based skirmish game where you're telling the story of your particular band of train hobos? I think there's actually something to this. Now, would we make it a historical, or would we make it like its own setting? So they could be like hobo magic, hobomancy. I think we might be enough. I think we might be on something here. I think everything's done other than the gun. No, none of that supernatural devilment. Bare knuckle boxing. Well, if that's the case, then you have to make it really, really in depth. You know what I mean? You can't just have like go up and roll one dice kind of stuff. It's got to be like, how do you differentiate yourself from all the other games out there, other than it just having a hobo skin? That's what you got to think about these days. Should it be like a Bushido system? Would it just be like a mod, a mod of Bushido, where you have to like specify which kind of dice you're going to use for your hobo? I mean, I don't think that Ronan. I play the hobo fact. Isn't it just homeless guys? Kinda. I guess so. I guess it can be. But so many of the factions aren't homeless, though, in that game. I mean, there's Criminal Underworld. I mean, the monks are sort of homeless. Because they like to just kind of wander. The Edo might be homeless? I don't know what's going on with them. Like, I'm not sure if the story of Edo is literally they're just a bunch of jerks. Like, I'm not entirely sure why they're allowed to be a bunch of, like, snake-worshipping jerkholes. Because if they lived in, like, a single, like, land on the Jawar Island or whatever, you think the ruling family would just go over there and murder them. Mendicant monks. We need to ask Ian. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Bagel, you're here. Yeah, answer these questions. Are you, like, not up on the lore? And also, before I forget to at least say anything, Mike, I have been listening to your episode on Arachne. I think your editing skills got really good. It sounds great. So good job. The orphans are... The orphans are, yeah, they certainly are, yeah, very much urchins, yes. But they are more about in secret snake worshipping. No, second edit stuff, just need intro and extra stuff, but nah, I mostly don't check about the lore besides... So was actually a huge jerk. Shame on you, Bagel. You need good lore for your games to survive. Especially a game that has a cool, like, you know, feudal Japanese setting. So, do the Edo family worship them secretly? Because if it's a secret thing, then sure. Like, you know, they show up and they're like, you better not be worshiping no snakes around here. Getting sick and tired of coming around here and being attacked by giant snakes. And if they're like, oh, sorry, Dad, yeah, you know, it's the thing. We're trying to take care of it. It's fine. Don't worry about that, you know... priestess over there who suspiciously has like the lower half of a snake. Don't worry about that. A museum on hobos with putting? That sounds awesome. That's incredible. Can we have a professional camera helping there, Dr.D? We'll have to do an entire episode of Arachne on it. We'll just go out there and just like do interviews and stuff. Up in New Hampshire near Winnie. Luckily their clan was a snake. And then they find a primordial snake out in the jungle. I wouldn't mind a hobo fight. Yeah, it sounds cool. Because there's a game called Gangs of Rome, or whatever it is, where you can actually have different like gangs in Rome in its heyday, where you fight each other in the city. Because you're not allowed to have weapons in the city of Rome, because it's illegal. So they all, like, kill each other with, like, rocks and stuff. And, like, having a dagger is, like, a really big deal. You might be able to do something with that. Kind of hobo it up a little bit. Shiny, shiny blade. Oh, what about hobos through time? Hobos through time? Oh no. And then San Francian modern day hobos versus like 18. Modern day hobo. 1870s English hooligans. Bagel. You need to pitch this to GCT. This should be their other game, not the card game or whatever they're doing. Chris already said no wizardry though, so you can't have time. You can't have time travel. Otherwise, we're gonna lose Chris and his funding. I mean, Chris already said he was gonna make his own mini game. He's gonna make the Ventures Brother miniatures game. Well, you don't need time travel wizards for a time mash, but don't you though? I mean, I suppose that might be true, depending on your angle. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. I'm just saying, like, you should do like a fantasy setting, right? Or at least like low fantasy. Where it's like, you know, the industrial whatever revolution of that universe is taking over, and so like trains have been made, and then like, you know, the hobos are kind of like the vestiges of like some kind of society that didn't quite. It's like the Atex in Infinity, you know, they just like kind of didn't get with the times, so now they just travel around on these like trains that go through the woods or whatever. Don't even get me started on the event. Don't get you started. Well, we need something to talk about. Let's get you started. I don't know. Maybe a hobo fighting game is a real thing.
People to be interested in it.
100%. Like you're gonna have in the starter set. You're gonna have to have at least railroad tracks. Like maybe the wizards get more powers when they're on the hobo tracks, and then the railroad tracks. But then when they're on a train. Like, you could have a board where, you know, you could have rules for, like, moving trains and stuff, where they, like, maybe they pull up next to each other. It's, like, super corny, right? Super campy. But you have, like, powerful hobos fighting each other. I guarantee you somebody would be offended by this game. Because there was an old Cthulhu-themed gang game I used to play forever ago. Yeah, because I think there could be a definitive call for, like, a Lovecraftian type hobo gang. I think that's 100% where the direction I would go. Historicals let you take like cross time, but yeah, this is getting more fantastic. I think there should be at least some I think it should be low fantasy. Rumble Slam exists. Rumble Slam exists. This could exist. You know, maybe there's something to this. We need the trains for the people. Yeah, how would you incorporate the train? Like, if you're gonna make a starter for this game, how are you gonna get, like, where are you gonna get the train? That's gonna be the first question. It's like playing Blood and Plunder without boats. Did we just make a new game? Guys, did we just become best friends? Model train sets larger scale. Because, yeah, I'm not sure that regular train scale, O scale, is the same. It's definitely not a 28 millimeter. So there you go. So these are some of the questions you have to start asking. Like, what is the scale of the game? Is it going to be 28 mil? Like, how big are the gangs? Are we talking like Necromunda? Where you're running around with like 10 dudes? What is the name of the game?
Make it train scale and you will get some eyes on you.
That's true. But isn't like train scale like really tiny people? So, like, Railway Rage. That's such a good name. Oh, no. Are we doing this? Are we really gonna do this? Chris already made a game. That needs to be said. Everybody that doesn't know that, Chris made an RPG. It's getting even big in our hearts. Oh no. Alright, hold on. Let me get a Word document. Are we making this game? I'll make it. I'll do it. I swear. I want to be known for making stuff. I need another new thing in my life or whatever. Like I need a friggin' hole in the head, but let's start writing stuff down. Let's talk about Railway. Nope, that's not how you do that. Railway Rage idea sheet. I'm putting low fantasy. I think it's got to be a fantasy fictional universe. Otherwise, you have to have.
The only thing I am known for making is problems.
Because otherwise, you need a really good combat system to make up for the fact that you're not going to have a lot of like variety. There's got to, and like I think the Enforcer should be like kind of steampunky, right? I'm thinking. So there's been this like recent wave, I feel like, of like futuristic noir. It would be kind of like Deadlands-y in a way, you know? I think this guy's done. We're talking about this because this guy looks like a hobo. That's why we did it. A new miniatures game was born today, October 23rd. Because these guys look like homes. These guys look like hobos. I'm just saying, there might be something to this. I mean, it's so easy to make models now. Because you can just have somebody sculpt them or whatever, you know? Like, it wouldn't be that hard. Everybody went real quiet. Uh-oh. As soon as Dylan pulls out the idea sheet. We just need to get Carlos. We need to get Carlos on making the terrain. Well, actually, we can even get Chris. Probably might make the terrain. He makes really good boards. I'm cleaning a brush real quick. Sorry. If you want to watch me do it. I think there's weight to this. I'm just saying, I think that there's weight to this. Rumble, because you're absolutely right. Like a true hobo, I always avoid actual work. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. So are these guys like in between train hopping? Well, there's got to, you know, here's the thing. There's always got to be a MacGuffin, you know, right? It's like maybe So I think if we go fantasy setting, it's a lot easier to do this, right? Because then it's easier to explain why a bunch of train hobos are fighting each other. And it doesn't have to be like super serious. It could be like as simple as like, okay, in this fantasy world, they need fuel for their trains or whatever, right? Like these train hobos have like made their own trains or whatever. So like maybe they need like it's always like a fuel source, right? It's always like it's in Malifaux, it's Soulstone. In Deadlands, it's what do they call it? What do they call the magic rock? The magic rocks in Deadlands. It's essentially just Soulstone. I forget what the Deadlands. There's always a magic fuel source. I can trust Bagel. Bagel's clearly interested. What is that? What is that? What is it called? Wait, some. See, I like that. That's a great idea. Okay. So there's got to be like an evil, like I don't want to say Lucifer, but like clearly demon-esque gang. Lucifer gang summons demons from trash can fires. They're fighting for their growth. So food are both round. Oh my god, you're right. They summon demons from these fires. And the demons look like trains. Demon trains. No. There's 63 people here. They're all. So one of them's gonna steal our idea. We gotta IP this real quick. But just grub though. I mean, but then how do they get around? That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's got to be like a setting. Like, okay, it's definitely got to be some kind of dystopian thing, right? Like a dystopian-esque kind of, like the apocalypse hasn't happened, right? But there's got to be a reason that people are traveling around on trains, right? You telling me hobo symbolism language is actual magical words of power? Yes. Because weren't there like hobo signs? There was like a language that they would put into stuff to like indicate if it was like a safe place or not. Robert Johnson. Bluesman's. Yeah, you could 100% have crossroad demons, for sure. That does go straight in. That is true, yeah. Well, the thing is like, it should be kind of low key, though. So, like, you can actually summon, but that's that gang's thing or whatever, you know? There's one that have, like, totally given in to the demon, the evil hobo. 20th century is by definition. That's kind of true, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm thinking noir era, right? Where it's kind of like, it's like, I don't know if anybody here's seen Twisted Metal, the show. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've watched like a couple episodes of it, but at the very beginning, the idea is that there was an apocalypse or whatever, and then there's cities where like rich people live, and then everyone else like travels around in cars and shoots at each other. It's essentially what Twisted Metal is. So maybe it could be that. Maybe there's like this particular part of this universe where there's like an area where there's like a lot of good salvage or whatever. There's like some kind of like area that got, I don't know, nuked or whatever we decided it is. And they have to go in and out, like the hobo gangs or like the scavengers. Like maybe we can play with trains that aren't stuck on tracks. That would make it a lot easier. I'm thinking that there's got to be like a clockwork kind of component to it. Heightened membership due to the Great Depression. Yeah, you're right, obviously. That's true, Bagel. Yeah, I guess you got to be careful because you're going to jump into that like high fantasy type thing. But one of the gangs or one of the nations or whatever would definitely be like just like your stereotypical like hobo. They're the ones that like have guns like kind of rarely, but they just happen. They're just like the guys.
Trains not on track are just buses, and that doesn't stimulate the tism.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Doesn't stimulate. This is a game made for people. Made for people with tism. Oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna go back to jail, aren't I? Okie faction. Yeah. Okay, you know what? You're right though. I agree. There should be tracks. But I'm thinking there's got to be a game mode where it's kind of like Blood and Plunder, right? Where you like have two trains next to each other, right? And they like go back and forth, and you can like move the trains in some ways. This is not what I expected we would be talking about. Like you can play a lot of tracks or less, right? Like maybe there's like some kind of way to have the trains like switch tracks. You know, like maybe there's like a part. Like, wait, was Dr. D actually in jail? No, I was not in jail. No. You could believe it, though, couldn't you? I am kind of crazy. The thing is, Chris, I couldn't agree with you more. Little did C Bagel knew it was not. It was me. Not Dr. D and J. Yeah, I think a railway terrain board. And you could definitely like, and then I'm also thinking like brain. Like Lovecraftian, you know, like Innsmithy type towns. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's like a part of the world where like you know, there was like some kind of flood or whatever. And it's very Cthulhu. And, like, one of the gangs is essentially, like, deep ones, right? Like the Cult of Dagon, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. And that's the reason, like, a certain part of this place fell apart. And they're going in there, like, looking for... because maybe that's the resources. They're going there looking for the old, the deep ones as gold. Lotus, we're making a miniatures game. Jump in. Because that was the whole plot of Innsmouth. The reason that Innsmouth existed was because the Marsh family became deep ones, and they take the gold from the cities. So it's literally like a gold rush hobo train fighter. And then, you know, like that's the resource you have to pick up off the map or whatever, like, you know, like the plunder tokens or whatever it is you want to call it. Oh my god, we're walking. Oh my god, we're doing it. we're walking right into greatness. Oh my god. Cosmic horror. I don't play games, you know. Well, we're not telling you to play. We're just telling you to help us design it. That you get the Ferocious Tent Revival Methodist faction, or better yet, the oh my god, the Salvation Army. Oh no. Yeah, you could definitely like like in Necromunda you have the Redemptionists, you know, where it's like just super like maybe we don't do Catholicism exactly, but you have a or I'm sorry, Christian, like a Christian, but like you could have a very like monotheistic type religion where you just don't, where we can't like offend people or whatever. But they like clearly have like it's like okay, these guys are like, you know, they work for a church or whatever. Yeah, let me put that in. Yeah, and they're there to like fight the demon things coming out of the ocean for, you know, whatever, for Jeebus or whoever it is they work for. So, that's the question, right? It's going to be a skirmish game, for sure. It's going to be like your Mordheim-y type thing. I like D10s, personally. I would prefer for it to be... I would really like some kind of Bushido D10 type game. It's kind of like what I'd like. Like, where there's... like a... not bidding, but there's like some kind of like head game mechanic. And it's a universe where there's a bunch of people that travel around in a dystopian-esque, like, clockworky noir type setting. Like, you could have, like one of the factions could be like a Pinkerton type of thing. All my ideas are extremely offensive, like a hobo on crutches with a Molotov. I mean, well, that's fine. How's that offensive? This is where I can say that I actually do play enough to know that would be good. I'm shocked that there has not been a game that's like hobos. And you know what started it all? This model. You look at this and I was like, look at this guy. This guy looks like a murder hobo. I'm surprised there's no game about murder hobos. And then we started talking about it, and now we're making we're making a game about murder hobos. Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Bagel. Yeah, these are the guys I'll be playing against you. These are the Bumblebee boys. The Bumble Boys. They got their little bee pants, like, look at me, buzz, buzz, I'm a bee. I'm a little bee boy. This is where I can say I actually don't play enough to know what would be... Oh, okay, that's what you meant to say. I mean, whatever. Fine. It's one of those games where you're playing for the theme. You're not playing because we're not going to have GW-level army building mechanics, you know what I mean? Kind of like Victorian Clockwork Mad Max. Yeah. But the theme, but people are dressed up like hobos. I'm just saying, I think there's something to this. Just saying, there's something to this. Is it just me? Guys, did you feel the magic? I felt magic. And what if we go the opposite way and people make their own hobos? Back to modular design. I'm scared of this magic. What is this magic? You're like, Gilroy Lockhart? It's just like magic! So, are you talking like maybe... That's how people should always treat magic. Destroy the evil thing! Cast it into the fire! Destroy it! People make their own hobos. Back to modular design. Well, that could be like maybe you can make your own leader. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Frostgrave. So that way, you know, there's like not too much stat tracking, you know? It's Frostgrave's pretty good. It's not my favorite system or whatever, but I really like the idea of it. I don't, man. I don't know. I just feel like there's something to this. I'm not willing to just let this go. Also, you know, have we still not picked a day, Bagel, for Bushido? Also, we should do a whip it out. Mike, can you post the neat yeet? Can you post the so what's the game? Victorian Murder Hobos? Kinda, yeah, like hobo gangs fighting for something, like some kind of like you gotta have a MacGuffin in these like fantasy settings. Mike, can you post the Discord in the chat because there's 63 people here, so it's probably got some new people. If you are painting something and you want to show it off or get some like critique or a little bit of love or some cheers or anything in between, put it in the whip. Go to the channel, put it in the whip section, and we will look at it in a couple minutes. And also, by the end of today, there might be a new channel on there called Railway Rage. Chris, you might have made a monster. West Side Story. See, now you're thinking. See, now you can tell you're getting into it. West Side Story hobo game where you have to sing before you roll. Okay, well maybe not quite that direction, but I like your enthusiasm. That could be one of the gangs. Do you think Rob Blanche would be willing to dedicate some of his time to our game? I like where your head's at, though, Lotus. I like it. I like your thinking. I'd like some advice on how to paint the inside of the exhaust vents in the back of my GoPod. I can do that. As soon as I'm done with this coat of yellow, we will do it. So yeah, yet again, if anybody is curious, join the Discord. Put what you're working on in the whip section, and we will look at it momentarily. We got a couple pretty good painters in here. Endless, thanks for the resub, man. I appreciate that. Mr. Endless here. We did an episode of Raise the Black together, where we talked about Captain Billy the Kid. And seems like people really liked it. I just heard Robo and I thought West Side Story. I think that's a great when you're a jet. When you're a jet. I think you're 100% on it though, Lotus. I'm just not entirely sure having a gang specifically. Like, there should be a gang where singing is encouraged but not required. Captain, you gotta be kidding me. Give me a minute to switch machines and post a pic. You got plenty of time. I still gotta finish this this belt. Endless, we were talking about making a mini game. We were just talking about mechanics and like setting and lore and all that. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sounds pretty good. Singing should always be required. Not if you want a successful game. So, are you ready to go on a journey, Endless? Are you ready? Are you holding on to your butt? Make sure you're holding on to your butt. Tell me when butt is properly secured. Clutch. So we're thinking a Mordheim style game, or Port Royal, kind of Port Royal-y game where you play different bands of hobos. And it's like a diesel punk type setting where they go into like a cursed place and then there's like, you know, gangs fighting and like rail yards and like we'll have kind of like in Blood and Plunder where you have like the boats or be like trains and stuff that are moving. You have to like watch out for hazards and stuff. But we're trying to make it successful. I'm the wrong one to ask. Listen, Lotus, you do not have the keys to the kingdom. So you can say whatever you want and we can take and not take whatever it is that we do and do not need. So steampunk, dieselpunk, pirate Heim. Kinda, yeah. With a hobo aesthetic. And method. There will be Methodists, yes. 100%. There will be like a temperance movement type of like, you know, overtone. You know, prohibition kind of thing. Do one of the characters not have any legs? Why does that keep coming up? I mean, we can make a character like that, yeah. Is there something about hobos and people with no legs? You're like the second person to say that. Will there be a Hillary Clinton look-alike mini, speaking of Methodists? Oh god, here we go. Don't make it political. But yes. I don't know, Endless. What do you think? Do you think that they missed their train jump? Yeah, well, I mean, that can happen for sure. I don't know. I don't know, Endless. What do you think of it? What do you think? Do you think it's an enticing setting? Or am I barking up the wrong tree? I don't know. I'd have to see how hard we lean into the hobo aesthetic. I think Diesel putting steampunk with moving trains is pretty cool though. Alright, so you're telling me there's a chance. Okay. And just so you can see him before I forget to show him to you. Two more sea hobos. Mr. David. I'll be playing Dutch this weekend at the event I'm running. And I want to get as many of them painted as I can, because I'm not going to be able to have a completely painted crew, because 250 comes out to be a lot more stuff than you really think it's going to be. Especially in boat games, you need so many sailors. You need so many sailors. This Dutch super soldiers. I'm not planning to win, but I will give some. I'll give a demo to somebody who's been wanting to play. Brain. Yep. You know, I love Wilmar, but I always feel like he wants to like hurt me. I don't know why. I'm liking that so far, Chris. Wow, that's really good. I like that. I guess I'll put that up there. Yeah, Chris, you should. Wow, this is really good. I'm a big fan of this. Dylan loves talking about buttholes. Do I? Wilmar wouldn't hurt a soul. Yeah, you need a lot of dudes to crew a 3-decker. Even a 2-decker. Like 4 units? Like 2 of them, probably at least 2 of them have to be sailors, you know? If you're playing a sea game. More than likely, it's probably going to be 2 of the generic sailors, right? And it's just like, man, it adds up. Because, like, you know, you want your units to be around 8 guys, right? That's like 16 models right there. And you haven't even, like, done anything else. I think it adds up pretty quick. But anyway, so we're talking about Bushido. And it's kind of been making a comeback here thanks to Mr. Bagel, which 100% I will call out. I thought the community for it was pretty good and getting pretty strong before I abruptly bumped into something I did not like and didn't want to continue it. But I think Bagel has done a fantastic job of picking it back up. So full love to him. Yeah, 8 to 12 at least. Yeah, because you figure with the can, depending on what guns and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm probably going to have some proxies. I'll probably be using Marineros as Zealanders during the game, depending on what Kara uses. But anyway, so this is Ito. He was playing... I don't know the actual name of his theme, but this guy right here, Yunkai or Yuki or Yunkai or whatever. Yeah, these look really good. These look great. This guy is infuriating. Mr. 5 dice all attack, brutal with lightning reflexes and all that crap. This guy's savage. And a couple of the snake people. Yeah, he had the snake people specific theme, I think. And I feel like he always had trouble with this chick because she didn't have willpower or whatever it is. Like, I felt like it was really hard for her to get stuff off. And she was always trying to cast like a possession thing, but I feel like she was always having trouble. But obviously this looks great. I love that green. Obviously I love green. It's one of my favorite colors. And I'm a big fan. I think the pink works well with it too. So yeah. If you're still here, Walmart, keep up the good work. I'm a big fan. Oops. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I just got rid of. Anyway. And then this is, I believe, Wilmar as well. This is all of the... Yep, all the Infinity stuff he's doing. This is obviously Nomad, so you got some... oh god, the names are escaping me. This is a Morlock. Ooh, I forgot what that is. That's the Mercenary Healer. Vostok. Is that the new Zero? Is the new Zero Prowler? That's Bran. That's an HVT, 2 Fast Pandas, Meteors on. Uhahu. The old one. Got the old one. Yeah, it's essentially Bakunin. Yeah, right. I can't remember what this is the... I think this might be the Clockmaker? I think it's the generic Clockmaker. But I can't remember what the heck these... It starts with a T. It's the really, really good warbands that have Mim 6, like real good. What the heck are they called? Something with a T. Name escapes me, but... Oh, another HVT over here. Work. That's the Dactari. This? Oh, this is the... Oh, you're absolutely right. That is the Dactari, yes. Because the chick is the Clockmaker. Yeah. That's right, the one with the little devil horns. Then this is Bran. Bran is one of the original characters when Infinity was still just a role-playing game that Goodyear or whoever was running, but Bran was one of the creators of Infinity's characters. And that new sculpt is, man, you want to talk about a glow-up. That old one was rough. I think the old one is still somewhere on my desk, broken up into a billion pieces. That model sucked. This one's great. I love this one with the bent pole thing. Very... what the name of the monkey, Wukong or whatever his name is. That's who Goku's based off of, I think, or something like that. Looks great though. Dark skin tone, I'm a big fan. Obviously the red and white. His red always looks great. I'd be curious to know what color he paints the pole. If he's gonna do just like a metal color. Alright, and then Chris has been working on the GoPod. There's a couple pictures of this, so we might not spend too much time on this one, but it looks really good. I like that red. Is the robot a part of the model? Or is this like something else? Is it a different unit? back shop. Obviously, just needs some cleaning up. But it's a whip. Looks good to me. All right, then he starts. No, excuse me. Then he starts working on the black. It actually it comes with the Nomad monogram. That's great. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so good. I've loved this like scratchy black highlight. I'm a big fan of that. It gives you a flashbot escort. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I don't know why, but that really makes my brain tickle. And I like the green, aqua-y, turquoisey type coloring accent. Yeah, oh, it's great. Yeah, Chris, I'm amazed. I think you're doing a fantastic job on that one. That might just be a different. I'm not sure if that's a different angle, if it's just that. And then here's the base. I'm always a little cautious with these flight stands. I always feel like they're not necessarily the best thing. Did you drill the base? You must have drilled the base, right? Because you use those like MDF bases. It's one of those situations where I feel like that model, I would just build it up in a way to where it's like banking off a piece of terrain or something, because I just hate those flight stands. I don't trust them. Okay, so the first question I have is, you can't do special effects on stuff, Chris, until the whole model's done. So in your situation, would you say that the model is done? Okay, so don't even think about doing it until the whole model's done. So what you could do is, do you know what color you're going to paint the exhausts? Look at the colors. Okay, so what you might want to do is, if you want to paint, if you paint it black, you may not have to do anything to make it look like it's burning or whatever. You know what I mean? Like a heat burn on the metal. If you do that all in black, you could probably just not even worry about it. If you're looking to add a little like extra flair to it, what you could do is you could paint. It's kind of weird, right? Because usually with jet exhaust, there's like something sticking out of it. There's like that flare. Flare. Woo! Woo! So what you could do is, if you painted this like a metal color, if you wanted a heat burn, sparkles, you could have, yeah, make sure you paint it silver. Moonbeams. And make sure it's as highlighted and all that stuff as you want it. You got to make sure everything's done on the model before you start doing like special effects. So I would paint it, if you want to make it look like that, you would paint it silver, and then you would take a really watered down, not a wash, you got to be careful with it, because there's a difference between like a watered down paint and a wash. You very much want to glaze probably like either like a dark blue or a purple. Yeah, kind of like that. And you can kind of do it different colors, right? Because in the future you can, you know, who knows what color fire burns anymore or whatever. But if you want like a stereotypical one, what you could do is burn it with some kind of like dark purple. and then gradually turn it into like maybe a dark blue the closer you get to the actual nozzle. And there's a lot of tutorials for this, as you can see. I might be getting the colors wrong, but it's something like that. It's like a dark purple, or you do like a dark brown or something like that, and then you like work it up to like a blue or something. That's a really good paint job. But as you can see, you know, it goes to that like kind of brownish color to a red, and then it usually ends in like a black or like a dark blue. I like dark blue because I think it gives you a little bit more. I don't know, texture is the word, but it gives you a little more flair, I guess. This one's kind of backwards. And you notice that one right there, if you look at it, you can tell it doesn't quite look right. And that's just because the black part isn't on the tip. Because that's where the main source of the heat is. Because when you think about that color, it's literally the heating up and then the cooling down of that piece of metal. And that's why it takes that color. And as you could even say, it doesn't take a lot of effort. It just takes like a couple little coats and it looks great. So, yeah, there you go. See, paint it, a dark like reddish brown, purple, and then you could do the edges if you really want to make it like fancy. You could go in there and like do some of the edges in silver again. That's a quick and dirty right there. I'll send it to you. And I hope that helps. Okay. I am both quick and dirty. I think you're a passionate man.
Got the passion. The passion.
Alright, before I go back to painting, I did get a box from Firelock. This is the order I did for Talk Like a Pirate Day. And I needed a lot of bases, as you can see. Many bases. For all of these other characters we have. So somebody was selling an Admiral Dillon, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta get that for either Blood and Bayonets or Blood and Plunder. Oh, the boat game people. Yeah, boat game people. You can't get their stuff. I got French, because I am going to slowly consume some French for... Turn down the thing a little bit. As you can see, the resin is very reflective. But this is one of my favorite sailing sculpts. I don't know why. I really love this one with the axe and the sword. It's a great model. Big fan. So if you ever are looking for models to do sailors or whatever, or blah blah blahs, these look great. Another man, looks fantastic. This is the model, which you can't get anymore. I think it's supposed to look like Long John, or Captain Silver from Treasure Island, because he's got a peg leg. Although he didn't, I don't know if he really had a peg leg. I know he didn't have a leg. I don't remember if he had a peg leg though. I know that's the movie the book that kind of popularized pirates, being with pirates. His gun needs a little bit of a straightening. He don't shoot like he used to, you know, in his old age. It's a really great sculpt, though. I love the, like, jeering pirate look. You can get a model very similar to it in the Port Royal Jamaican Privateers box. There's a guy that looks really, really close to him. Another Marin. This is the super chill dude. Who just looks like he's shooting and he's smoking a cigarette at the same time. And I got some Flibustiers. Because I think they're one of the best units in the entire game. Flibustiers are incredible. Me and Winter both, or Endless both agree that they're probably the best 6-point unit in the game. Another Flibustier. Another Flibustier. This guy likes to go for a run. Flibustier. You don't see very many models actually doing the reload with the powder bite thing. Because the way they used to reload these things is they'd shoot them and they have these little like bandoliers where they pull off like a little packet of gunpowder and they'd bite it, they'd rip it and pour it in. There's a lot of people say they taste the gunpowder and it does not taste good. It's one of the first things you hear. It's like, oh man, yeah, charger versus paper cartridge. Yep. Great sculpt though, and then this is the other Marin. I love this one, Mr. Wild Crazy Boy. He's a charging up his sword. He's a charging up his sword. Ah! So yeah, there's gonna be some French in the future at some point, so that Captain Billy the Kid can have some French boys. Reload ain't sexy. That's true. You ain't wrong about that. And if rumor has it, are you still coming up for Everwinter, Mr. Endless? Because we're going to have to record a battle report. 50-50. Alright. It'll be a cheap trip. I mean, heck, if you stay at my house, it's half the cost. Money is tightening. Bro, you have no idea. Honestly, like, just getting the ticket. I mean, a ticket from where you are to where I am, it's like, you usually get it for like $200. Again, love the big crowd today. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to follow if you are interested in this kind of stuff. We are here fairly often, and we do other stuff on the channel. We do have some people coming on here playing some video games. They do a battle report day for MCP. At some point, they say they're going to do Old World. They do Shatterpoint every once in a while. I bet if there was more of a demand for it, they probably would do more Shatterpoint. More frequently, anyway. And they are kind of the, I don't want to say the official streamers of AMG, but they get stuff very early. They're very close with AMG. So if you're ever like curious about MCP stuff before it comes out, they do very frequently get it early. Or not very early, get it like a week early. And then they always try and use it. They always try and use the model before the week it comes out or thereabouts. Excuse me. I gotta say, if you can paint yellow well, man, it really does draw the eye. You'd be coming up here to play Legion, right? Maul is in my painting case. Because I finished them that night you popped in. I actually found a piece of art that made me kind of excited to paint that army in like a kind of a neat theme. Let me see him right now. Drop the small. I'm not dropping this small. On the phone. No, not gonna happen. I'll go get him, but I'm not doing that. There you go, boy, jump. So, I think I'm gonna do a winter-themed army, for Star Wars. So, obviously, you know, when you're painting Sith and stuff, they wear a lot of black, right? And, I was thinking, because I found this piece of art with, Darth Vader. I don't know if I can find it. But it was him wearing, like, a lot of white. And I was like, ooh, that's really cool looking, actually. And, thank you. Yeah, I think he came out really good. I think I might have messed up his face a little bit. Like, I think the red and the black might be inversed. But I think it looks good. But it just, like, didn't look right, I guess. Nobody will notice, right? Unless they put it up really close to their face. But, but it did make me think of painting his other version. In, like, more of a, like, a wintry, like, black and white type outfit. Not to say that this doesn't look good, but it definitely... how do I say it? It kind of, it's not flat, it's just one color, you know what I mean? It does look good. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I think it did come out really good. But you can, I just wonder, like, how different would it look if it had something that was really, like, contrasting with it, which is what made me think the snow theme, because the white, I think, really works with it. And then I think the blue does a good job of, like, countering the red and all that stuff. So I think it came out really good. I'm really proud of this one. He was obviously really quick, just because it's like one color. And I just did 2 different types of black. So, like, you'll notice that some of it, the more leathery parts are more like of a blue, and then the cloth parts are more of like a yellow highlight. Yeah, so I think I wanted to do this one first, so I could kind of iron out what I wanted to do. And I think the other Maul is going to be like a black and white. So, like, I know his pants are like brown or something like that. So all that stuff will just be white. Because it'll look like he's running, you know, he's got like camo gear, you know, like Arctic camo. And so I was about to start building some of the army, and then I got busy. I'm not even going to tell you about guys, you wouldn't even believe what I'm doing with in my life right now. And I didn't get a chance to build it yet, but I guess I can ask you guys, because you guys are a little bit more Star Wars nerdy than me. Endless gave me his answer, and Endless is a pretty big Star Wars dude. With the Super Commandos, like, I know the colors that they use are obviously tied to Maul, because he's, like, the leader. But if it's a winter setting, would they change some of the segments of their armor to a white? I know it's my army, I can do whatever I want, but, like, from a lore standpoint, would it make sense for them to make any of their armor, like, white to blend in or whatever, I guess? Because obviously I know Mandalorians do that because they're supposed to be, like, knights. So they're not really, like, worried about blending in, per se. but they do it more for like a, for like a clan / honor reason. Do digital winter camo. I mean, I could, but then it's not a problem of like doing it. Like that's gonna take forever. Like digital camo takes forever. But also digital camo on a 28mm model is kind of, I feel like it doesn't look very good because it's just like little dots. It just kind of turns it gray because I've done it before. I did it on some of my Infinity stuff and it doesn't really look like anything. I am unsure lore-wise. I feel like they wouldn't do it. I feel like the Mandalorians would very much just be like, we're gonna wear whatever. I'm sorry, we're gonna wear the clan colors because we don't give a hoot. Like that's my kind of like my gut reaction. Well, yeah, because I've painted a lot of models. And camo's tough. Like I've done a lot of historicals, right? So I've tried to do camo, and it's, I don't know. It's really, really difficult to make it look good because if you paint it at scale, camo doesn't look very good. It just looks muddy. So you have to paint everything like really exaggerated. And the issue with Legion models is they look good, but the scale on them is like really not correct because they have really big heads. So like if you were to try and do like a digital camo on this with like little like gray dots and stuff, it would just kind of look like I didn't paint it very well, as opposed to like a camo, if that makes sense. So eventually, what I just turned my digital camo into was, it just kind of turned into like a forest camo, except it was like grays, dark blues, and white. Oh wait a minute, I can just show you. My Ariadna is here. Hold on one sec, I'll be right back. You need to reach out to me about a death gun. What about? Is it for like paint team? Is that what you're talking about? I'm unsure lore-wise. I forget if they did change their armor. I don't think they did, because I think because the reason that their armor looks, the Super Commandos anyway, it looks that way is because of Maul, right? Because they're like the tribe of Maul or whatever. I think that's how, like, that's why it's painted that. But I don't. Again, I didn't watch all of Clone Wars, so I don't know if they did. But I thought the Mandalorian thing was they looked the way they did because they were like representing their clan or whatever. So I always thought of them as like feudal knights because they're running around in armor, you know. Oh, we got to know him before he got big. We got to know him before he got big. I'm already big, baby. I'm huge in Japan. Huge. He's so little for such a big guy. All right, so this is the Ariadna I did. So I was trying to do like a digital camo. And this is kind of ultimately what I just decided on is, and it's kind of hard to tell, obviously, because it's so white. Yeah, it's hard to see just because it's all white, but I was trying to do like winter in the marsh Americans.
You are right. It looks like shit.
Thanks. Shockingly short. But as you can see, eventually it just turned into white with like this dark gray. Because if you were to do little dots, it just wouldn't really look right, in my opinion. I'm sure somebody can do it. It might not. It just might not be me.
Camo daddy.
And she got a cool hat. She's got cool sunglasses. got a cool hat. Cool floppy hat. And this is what I'm talking about with the scale. So, like, they're supposed to be roughly the same scale, but do you see how... how the dimensions are so much different? It's like, everybody knows Legion is kind of weird looking, just because of the head. Like, the models look good, but when you compare them, like, proportionally to something that's a little bit more realistic scale, like, you can definitely tell that their heads are just really big. It's kind of cartoony in a way. I bet it looks better on 40mm stuff. Yes, I would. Yes, as soon as you go up a scale, I think you can do it. Which is why I think you could do it for like dioramas, and it's a lot easier. But at this human scale, both heads are bigger. Yeah, for sure, 100%. But I mean, the Legion one is just like really big, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just a stylistic thing. It's genetics. Both head. Oh my. oh no. If you want to laugh, check. Okay, I'll check in a sec. But yeah, anyway, I'm hoping this kind of like shows my point though. Like, digital camo is a really good idea. I just don't think it looks very good on a 28mm scale. I'm sure someone can do it. I'm sure Wapple can do it with an oil wash because the guy's just insane at what he does. But I think it would just be much more time consuming than anything that wouldn't be for like a painting contest, if that makes sense. So if you're looking to paint an army, I don't think digital camo is the way to do it, at least at a 28mm scale. And of course, I say that, and I spend way too long on like a single model. Like, if I was painting up like a full crew of this and I needed it like for an event, I'm doing it the complete wrong way because I'm spending like 4 hours on this guy. Where if you're trying to just get an army painted, you're just like, yeah, let me just get it done. And just, it's like you want to spend like half of that. So, yeah, I hope that kind of illustrates what I'm saying, but I think that you can do a quote-unquote digital camo for winter stuff. I just don't think you can do it like the way it looks in real life. I don't think you can do the dots. I think you just kind of do it like forest camo, except you just switch the colors. I hope that was helpful. But that's at least what I found. I'm sure there's someone out there that can do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it's like, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. If that makes sense. Document layout check. It does. Did I ever show you the guild ball team he painted for me? No, I don't think so. Dude, that guy is insane. Wapple is just absolutely insane. I'm trying to get this in Ultron done for Sunday. Do you want me to laugh because I think you're crazy? Dude, holy crap. You're gonna do all non-metal metallic on that? Woo-wee boy. That's gonna be fun. I mean, that Ultron looks phenomenal though. That looks really, really good, man. You're knocking it out of the park on that one. Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. I think it looks amazing. You're gonna try and finish it for Sunday? I mean, if you're not doing anything tomorrow and you literally paint all day, I can see you getting there. I'm just thinking of these stupid choices. Yeah, what do you need me for? You're right. You're right. It looks like shit. Is there something you need me specifically to reach out to you about for Adepticon? I can reach out to you after this. Also, I hope you have a very nice weekend. I won't say why, Tizzy. To paint, to your point, first guy took 3 hours and he has half a day. Yeah, right. He's just half a man. Story of my life, really. Yeah, dude, that looks amazing. Yeah, that Ultron right there. Dude, that's like some award-winning stuff right there. That's really good. Your non-metal metallic has gotten so good. Oh, yeah, as soon as I start painting again, I have a very odd announcement that I think Wilmar is gonna have his mind melted on. Yeah, but I gotta say, Wilmar, holy shnikes. I think it looks bad, but dude, that does not look bad. That looks phenomenal. The reason it looks bad is because it's next to a bunch of white stuff on with just the terrain. I bet when you paint that black and you start like actually turning it into like the dirt, I bet you're gonna be like, oh, whoa, okay, I think it's gonna pop out. So I have decided in my infinite wisdom, I think I'm finally going to hire somebody else to paint one of my armies. There. Ooh. I think I'm going to have Painter J paint my Mythic America. I think I've made that decision. Because I just can't paint it in a way that makes me happy. And I hate it. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm saying it out loud. Dude, I know. I was shocked too. I was driving to work. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh god, I just... Like, thinking about painting it literally is just like, I don't do that type of organic material well. I do well with colored metals. That's like my thing. But in order to get that, like, natural organic thing, he does it so well. He's so good at it. And I just love the way it looks. I think I'm going to hire him to do it. And it's not something I need to bring to, like, events or anything, so I can kind of hire him to do it piecemeal, I think. You consider sitting with him and having him paint one while you also paint one. I guess I would love to do it. I just don't entirely know when. I mean, I could reach out to him, sure. I also know that as of right now, though, my time is getting kind of precious because this business buy thing has been getting crazy. So I'm totally not opposed to just being like, okay, someone else paint this. Yeah, and I told myself, so the reason I got good at painting, I'm gonna tell you guys a little story about a young Dylan, if anybody actually cares. Way back when I was in a community college, there was a YouTube channel called Blue Table Painting. Hey, Blue Table fans. And I really liked that channel because they did battle reports and stuff for Warhammer Fantasy, and I was a big fantasy guy. We do not need to talk about what happened to them. I am well aware of everything that sort of happened in the background for that company. It's fine. It wasn't great. We'll leave it at that. It's because you were in the same room as Angel. You know what? I forgot to tell you guys that was all a lie. I got you. I totally got you guys. You totally figured me out. I've never even heard of Angel. I totally fooled you. Yeah, it was a great channel. Other than the one time they were like doing a studio update or whatever, and then some guy had like porn in the background on his computer in the middle of work or whatever. That video went down real fast. Picture it didn't happen. There is a pic. There is a pic of me in the room, but I hate to break it to you, it is in fact falsified.
Give me the booty, I want the booty, back up the booty, I need the booty, I like the booty, oh what a booty.
And yeah. So anyway, the reason I got really good at painting was because of that channel. And I really liked the channel. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hire them to paint one of my models. So I called them up. And I said, hey, can you paint a Bretonnian Lord? Because I played Bretonnians. And I wasn't a rich college kid, let me just tell you that. But so, like, me doing that was a pretty, like, dedicated thing. And I was like, spend a lot of time on it. You know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I spent, like, for a single model, I spent, like, I want to say it was, like, about $200, I think. It's been a long time since this happened. So, but I remember, like, how I felt about it to this day. And I was so excited to get it back. So I waited, you know, it was like a month or something like that or whatever. You know, I had to wait for my turn, blah, blah. They painted the model, sent it back. And I still have that model. I look at it frequently. It's currently buried under a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to go get it. If anybody actually wants to see it, I can probably bring it for the next stream. But I saw it, and I thought to myself, the amount I spent versus what I got, I realized that it was not I ultimately would never do that again because I didn't think it was worth it. Not because it wasn't bad necessarily, but I thought to myself, I just spent $200 for this. I can do this. And I wasn't nearly as good of a painter as I am now, obviously, because I was back in... You figure, I've been practicing for 6 years. Cairo school is 4 years. And then this was probably beginning of community college, so you figure that was probably like 6 more years. So you figure this is almost like a decade and a half. And ever since that day, I have never asked anybody else to paint any of my stuff. I usually don't even ask people to build my models. I've had a few people do it for me. And I hate building models. But it was my wake-up call because I realized that I have trust issues. So, which is one of my biggest flaws as a human, as much as I try to fight it. I realized that I would never do that again because I realized that I could just do it myself. And from that point forward, I have painted probably almost every single day if I wasn't playing World of Warcraft. Because there was definitely some stints. There was some stints of community college days where I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft and I wasn't painting then. So that, I would probably say, take off 1 year. Probably about 365 days of me just playing World of Warcraft. Probably safe to say. I had to do 2 commissions, 1 good, 1 bad. I had them do 2 commissions, 1 good, bad. And okay, and how much did you, like, what level did you do and all that? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to, I don't want to dox you. And I'm definitely not against, like, people charging a lot for doing commission painting and all that stuff. Like, I get it. It's a lot of work.
Screw painting, we gotta do Blackwing Lair.
I never did get the Blackwing Lair. I never got past MC. My guild never got past Molten Core. I had a, So you guys are never gonna believe this. When I was younger, I had what you might call attitude problems. I was a very angry young man. I have since calmed down. Do tell. Yeah, I know. I have done a lot of self-work, just to put it lightly. And I am very proud of that. And I will not let anybody take that from me. But when I was a kid, I was very, 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 very angry. And painting was my salve. So back then, anytime we had a guild that was just starting to get somewhere, I would have a bit of, like, I guess you could call it a hissy fit about something or another. So it was always something stupid. If you think I go on rants now, you should have seen me back in the day. It was like rants, but it was like about angry things. I'm a much different person than I used to be. So I'll put it that way. I don't recall the level wasn't the bad. Yeah, so they have like 5 levels or whatever. Who paying that? Gotta do BWL, baby. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. I was bad. It was probably after my breakup with my first, like, real girlfriend at the time. I really went on, like, a journey. Because I realized that I was, in fact, a piece of crap. And I did everything I could to be better. So, like, you know, I have, like, a pretty grandiose type, like, you know, flavor, right? It's not for everybody. I don't want it to be. He who tries to please everybody pleases no one, right? But back in the day, I guess you could say, when I was joking around about, like, certain things with people, I was doing it to be mean. Where if you notice me doing it nowadays, it's much more, like, self-targeted, and I usually am not trying to, like, actually hurt somebody's feelings. It's mostly just, like, an act. I don't want to say it's an act, but it's usually very, like, it's much more, like, well-spirited than it used to be. A journey of trolling, the ride never ends, truly. But it helped me be more, like, secure in myself, because I noticed, like, a lot of that stems from, like, insecurity, you know? And I'm not to say I'm perfect now, but I definitely know where my insecurities are now. So it helps me kind of like stop and evaluate what I'm about to say. And I definitely have an unfortunate, strong streak of people pleasing, which will get me in trouble a lot, especially with my job. So, like, if anybody... So, like, if you guys really were like, Dylan, I want you to paint an entire army for me, you could convince me to do it, and you would be shocked at how easy it would be to do. Because ultimately, I talk a big game about, like, being mean and blah, 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 but quite honestly, I really wish the best for everybody. And it may not sound like that, but I'm a nice guy. I grew up in a very broken home. I just want everybody to be happy. I've done a lot of things I regret, but I don't let it hold me down. It just, you know, it's just like a thing. Like, nobody has an easy, like, no childhood is easy. You know, there's gonna be people who have it, like, less resource deprived, you know, but, like, parents don't know what they're doing. And most of the time, it's like, they're not doing what they're doing on purpose. It's just... life is fucking complicated. It's not easy. And so, like... you know, I never want to be the kind of guy who's like, you know, oh, boo, who is me? You know, my life was the worst or whatever. You know, you get into those, like, comparison fests or whatever. But there was definitely some things in my life, in my childhood, where I think back now and I'm like, man, that was kind of messed up. And there's, like, a point in your life where you decide if you let that control you or if you're gonna, like, use it to grow and move on or whatever. There we go. Marcus Aurelius once said, "In life, we're soldiers storming a wall. If somebody falls, there's no shame in asking for a hand up." And that quote lives in my head all the time.
Oh, here we go, Marcus Irrelevant.
I knew it.
Talk again.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was coming. Dang, there's always a segment of the show where I'm like, this is getting deep. This is the stuff I think about. So, Bagel, I'm gonna totally call it out because I know exactly the kind of person I am. When you were first introduced to me in that Bushido segment, I was a piece of shit. I was overly critiquing. And I was hyper judgmental, and I know for a fact that you were trying to keep everything going while I was sitting there being a dickhead. But then, as you've come to know me, I'm sure you've realized I'm not that bad. I'm just an idiot, and I don't want other people to wander into things that are going to stress them out. And ultimately, that's why I'm the way I am, because I don't want somebody to start playing a game where they spend their hard-earned money to play something. And then they're like, oh, this game is something I don't like. I'm now $200 in the hole. And now I have the added bandwidth issue of having a box of minis that I have to figure out what to do with. Because in Buddhism, one of the poisons is having stuff that doesn't do something for you in your life. And so... to me, when I look around my house, if I have a bunch of minis that I'm not using, it kind of stresses me out. Because I'm like, okay, there's something here that I have to take care of that I'm not getting anything out of. And there's a part of my brain, no matter how deep and dark inside my skull that it is, that is dedicated to maintaining the fact that I have to take care of this thing that I'm not using. And then once you get rid of it, your brain instantly gains some bandwidth back for just thinking. And that's one of the cool things about chiropractic, too, is when I adjust somebody, there's a scientifically proven reaction where it lowers the threshold of like a stress response. It actually physically lowers the amount of mental bandwidth that's going on because it lowers the threshold for what it takes for like a nervous impulse to go into the brain. So it's like getting adjusted actually helps with that kind of stuff. So like that's one of the reasons why I just find chiro so fascinating. Is if somebody's stressed out, if you get adjusted, it actually helps your brain process that stress. So like a lot of times I'll have patients come in who will have like some kind of like emotional problem. Like I had one today. You know, she comes in, I'm like, I obviously can't talk about it, but you know, she comes in and she's like, yeah, you know, I have all these like low back issues and blah, blah, blah. And I adjust her, but then we spend like a good like 15 minutes just chatting where we're just like, yo, what's actually wrong? And come to find out, you know, there's like a divorce and blah, 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 and there's all this other stuff that's like in the background. Anyway, we could stop talking about deep stuff if you guys would like. But that's the kind of stuff I think about. I just want everybody to be happy. It's like, that's all I want. I do my best. I have no emotional problems. That's awesome, buddy. Good for you. That's great, because you're a parent. You know, you got the 2 kids. Teach them that skill, please. Because I think ultimately the thing that gets people in trouble the most is, to put it kind of like very bluntly and probably overly simply is a lack of ability to... Somebody sent me a message. Yeah. I know, we're big time now, Chris. Oh, you didn't hear about the drama? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll set. I'm sure there must be a video about it out there somewhere. It's very odd, to say the least. Anyway, so it's a lack of, and I'm sure somebody could take this the wrong way. It's probably like a lack of what I think is like impulse control, where it's kind of like you, like, you know, like delaying like a sense of gratification. Because it's hard. And I think that's what gets people in trouble a lot, is they can't just stop for a second. I mean, it gets me all the time. Not to say I'm like sitting here casting the first stone, you know, he without sin or whatever, but I've just noticed that most of the time when somebody gets in trouble, it's because the lack of impulse control probably gets them in trouble. This is a hard medium to talk back. But you're actually a bro. You're actually a bro. Thank you, I think I'll just listen and I'll probably try to hit you up with a phone call or interview sometime. It's a hard medium to talk back because you're actually a bro. With a phone call? Sheesh. Thank you. I mean, I'm always here if you need help. I mean, that's why I work in healthcare. For the health. And I find that, you know, being introspective, generally speaking, makes people like you. Because, like, a lot of times, you know, somebody could do something to, like, make your life worse or whatever in some stupid way. And, you know, we've all been there where we haven't been at our best. But if somebody's willing to be like, yo, listen, I was a piece of shit. That was my bad. You know, I didn't mean for it to be that way. I probably didn't portray myself well. You're much more likely to be like, okay, this guy's like, he's got it. He's got something going on here. He's not, you know, there's something rattling around in his brain pan, you know? He's not just like this guy that just goes from point A to point B, not being able to like stop himself from doing just life's most basic functions. And I think, you know, on a certain level, nowadays there is a level of like narcissism which I use kind of sparingly because I think people probably overuse that word, but there is, I think, a level of narcissism that has infiltrated society where it's hard to see things from other people's perspectives, I think. And I think being able to do that will make you just a better... Even if you just stop for the briefest of moments and think about somebody else's perspective, it's amazing what you can conclude. The way I look at it, nobody in their right mind wakes up in the morning and is like, man, I can't wait to go out and cut somebody off in traffic. I can't wait to be a piece of shit. Like, I'm sure there are people out there that think that, but, like, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, they probably didn't mean to. Like, you know, there's like a story involved. I'm assuming you meant I'm a bro in a good way, not like a jock gym bro. I wouldn't make a very good jock gym bro. And I mean, you know, like everybody, I got my prejudices that I'm not particularly pleased with, but just being aware of those things, it helps you kind of, you know, curtail them. Ultimately, the one thing we're all looking for is sometimes we just want a pat on the head. Thank you. I think, and also, Chris, I have to say for you, I am continuously amazed at your patience. And that is a trait that I greatly admire in you. I think you're right about perspective. Because, like, who immediately could see something from somebody else's point of view, you know? There's a story involved with them that you'll just never see. You can't be best friends with everybody. A lot of shades of gray. And, you know, I just think that... I don't know, like... Litmus tests always get me, right? It's always like, why is it that this person didn't do this one thing even though it's easy? You know, like, why don't they just put their cart back or whatever? You know, it's always like those little things. Those are one of my weaknesses, because I'm always thinking to myself, like why didn't they just do it the right way first? You know, like, there's definitely, like, areas that get me. Like, I'm weak. Like, when I see those kinds of situations, I definitely get I get a little antsy. I probably react very harshly, but I calm down. The patience muscle gets a lot of reps. I have no doubt in my mind that that's the case. So, yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why Bagel's also pretty good at it. Also, Bagel, I just realized you are also a Chris, and I say Chris very interchangeably. It's probably good that I call you Chris, and I call you Bagel, and I call Chris. I just drew that connection. Like, I'll always remember, it was some kind of holiday. For Bagel. Excellent, cool. I was getting something. It was for Memorial Day, I think. It wasn't that long ago. So I was... I've worked all over, right? And when I was working inside Boston, I worked in a very Dominican Republic heavy borough of the city. And I got to be really friendly with a lot of them. And obviously a lot of the employees that we would hire were from the neighborhood, so a lot of them were from Dominican Republic heritage. Not all of them were from there, but they were, you know, their parents usually were. And while I was working there, I would always get friendly with them, because I talk. I talk a lot. And, you know, one of them is... She got pregnant very early, let's just put it that way. And she eventually couldn't work with us anymore because she got pregnant. And so she kind of disappeared. I hadn't seen her for a while. I got to meet his brother in Chris Hood. brother in Chris Hood. You've probably seen him. He's been at Infinity on a Tuesday. I think you've been there. So you might actually recognize him. Anyway, so, you know, and we got to be really friendly and blah, blah, blah. She had the kid. Everything went great. And she just didn't come back to work because she was going to school to be like a case worker, I think. Anyway, so, I was in the neighborhood. I forget why I was there. I think I might have still been moving or something like that. And I was like, I have to go to the grocery store to pick up like corn or something for Memorial Day. So I go in there and I'm just walking around, and I'm going to put this in the nicest way possible. I was the only white guy that was in that entire building. I was very white. I was the only white guy there. And I'm just walking around whatever. I don't care. You know, I'm just going there and I pick up my couple things. And I realized that actually, funnily enough, this Stop and Shop in Rosendale didn't have any canned vegetables. Not a single. I was definitely the ghost, yeah. It was the only... There was no canned vegetables in this entire supermarket. I walked it like 3 or 4 times. I walked down back and forth, looking down every single aisle. I wasn't a single canned vegetable. Like, how do you not have a canned vegetable at a grocery store? And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I've worked in a couple. Anyway, so I bump into her, right? And I stop and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah. It's going great. Blah blah blah. Life's going good. And I think about that interaction where I'm like, yeah, I do sort of know her. And when we saw each other, we were immediately like fairly friendly. We were like, oh, hey, how's it going? Hugs and happiness all around. And then I walk away, blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, blah blah, this, that. So, whatever. I go around shopping, and at that point, I am just going. I was looking for the canned vegetables, and I get like kind of cut off. I guess is the only way I could describe it. Where this like African American lady and her friend like kind of just like walk in front of me or whatever. I don't even make a face. I don't even think about it. I'm just walking, and they give me this like nasty look and say, oh, I'm sorry, like Mr. White Boy or whatever. It was something like that. It was like some kind of like charged comment. I mean, I didn't say anything. I was just like, I think I even said, "Oh, excuse me," or something like that. And that was one of those situations where I stopped and thought to myself, it's like she probably didn't, and then she looked like really pissed off at me or something. Like, I don't know. It was something. But then I thought to myself, it's like, listen, I don't know who this lady is. I don't know why she doesn't like me. Is it because of the way I look? I don't know. I don't really care. But there's no reason for me to, like, make a fuss out of this. Like, I could have said something and be like, yo, good job cutting me off or whatever, you know. And that's just one of those things I think about. Where I'm just like, yeah, it's probably better to just not make a fuss about, like, half of the things that happen. You just go with it. You just go with the punches. And I just thought to myself, like, yeah, it ain't worth it. I was more aggravated that I couldn't find any canned vegetables. So I had to get frozen. Can you believe it? I had to get frozen corn. My rich palate. However did I manage? Supermarket ghost. Does anybody have anything not deep they want to talk about? I'm gonna turn into Asmongold. Yeah, this is a good song actually. I'm gonna save this one. I was just thinking that too. It's like, it's actually pretty good. Yeah. Gotta love that yellow. You gotta learn how to do one or two things really well. You're gonna love the color we pull out next. Blue pants! You guys may have heard of it. Or at least maybe you could have if I knew where I put it. What's this song called, actually? I forget. Mid-Morning A. Well, I thought I was gonna paint it. There it is. I found it. It's a really easy yellow to do, too. Like, a lot of people say yellow's a hard color to paint. You just gotta know how to do it. As soon as you learn how to do it once, you're like, ah, I got it. It's not something you can rush. And there's like little alterations you can do to it to like kind of shift it. Because like even this guy, like I put yellow on the hat, but I also made him a blonde. And you can kind of like tell that it's a different shade of yellow. Because you just use like different midtones. So you see like right there. Looks pretty close, but it's not like quite the same. It's hard to tell on the camera, but you can tell it's a little more saturated. Also, blonde people are not that yellow. But I think it looks good. Oh yeah, look what color we're pulling out. Pulling out the black green, baby. Yeah, baby, you pulled out the black green. Classic Dr. D color. Taking my daughter and 2 friends to a theater screening of K-pop Demon Hunters. Next weekend may need to bring the noise cancelers. I've heard it's a really good anime. I've heard a lot of good things. It's funny, because there's a lot of patients that have come in that said the exact same thing. They're like, yeah, my kid's really been on this, like, K-pop thing. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever watched it. Yeah, if you want to know the secret to that yellow bagel, ultimately, the secret sauce is always going to be Scrag Brown, baby. Scrag Brown! But, I think burnt orange is a really good replacement for Scrag. But yeah, you weren't around in the Scrag Brown days. Yeah, burnt orange is incredible for yellow. It's the best base coat for yellow I've ever seen. It's real good. Real good, baby. Is there anything else on this that needs to be green? Oh, we can make his socks green. Oh yeah, baby. We're talking about triangles, baby! It's pretty well made. Songs are catchy, but it's very much pitched towards a pre-teen girls. It is billed as a sing-along event. Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, you might want to bring like an audiobook. Oh gosh, that sounds like it could be catastrophe. Oh my god. Oi, oi, oi. Also, something that is worth noting is, if I finish this guy, all Dutch remain painted. I have no pile of shame for Dutch, which is incredible. That's a good feeling. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this frigate for the weekend, and I can show off like a real piece of art. Because I'm actually thinking that on the back there is a bit of a like a little area where you can do like art on the back. And I was thinking that I would print out on stock art or something like that a couple like pieces of like nautical themed art, and I would cut it out, glue it in there, see how that looks. Try something new. Gotta keep it interesting every once in a while, you know. Gotta keep people on their toes. Yeah, yeah, dude, some of the boats I've seen are nuts. A good buddy of mine, Brandon, he's actually been on the show. Brandon Bourne. Him and his lovely wife do a lot of hobby stuff. And he did a entire voodoo themed sloop, and he did like a big pirate crew that was like voodoo Jamaican themed. It was great. It was incredible. He won Best Painted at on the Great Pirate Paint Off, but he got second at Adepticon. And then, ironically enough, at Adepticon itself, let me rephrase that. He got second in the Great Pirate Paint Off, which is like a big online Blood and Plunder painting thing. And then at Adepticon, he won Best Painted against the person that got first in the online thing, which I thought was pretty funny. It was a very cool theme. I'm glad he won a Best Painted. I don't know if he was upset. I don't want to say he was upset at Adepticon because he didn't win it, but I guess, I don't know, maybe he felt like he was a little, I don't want to say he felt robbed, but he was kind of like just surprised he didn't win, because his like, he obviously had like one of the more like interesting themes. Yeah, and it had like like voodoo glow and stuff coming out of it. Yeah, the paint job was insane. But since I'm finishing all these guys, I think tomorrow, I don't have a whole lot I gotta do other than some work stuff. I gotta travel around, go do more stuff for this loan. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna work on that thing solely. Oh, has anybody else here tried Vampire? I was thinking of streaming it today, but I eventually did decide painting's probably the way to go. The music made me think of it. A good chunk of the game, or the game references the 1920s quite a bit. A lot of the vampires are from the 1920s. I thought it was good. I think if it was just, I think if you buy it and play it, I think you should probably wait for it to go on sale. I think it's a sale game for sure. Like, wait until it goes, like, even like 15% off. It's like kind of like just right there. It might be like just slightly not good enough for 60, but I do think that if you like the vampire setting, if you like games with a lot of talking, I think you'd enjoy it. I think one of the biggest issues that the game is going to have is that it has the Vampire Bloodlines name tag on it. And a lot of the reviewers I've watched have all kind of said something similar, where as a sequel to Vampire Bloodlines, it's not very good. As like a vampire game, I think it's pretty good. But I think unfortunately it names itself, and because of that, because of the fact that Bloodlines was such like a cult classic, it is going to make you think it's going to be one thing, and it's not. What it is, I think it's still okay. I still think it's pretty good. But it's not Bloodlines. And Bloodlines, I still think one of the best video gaming moments is going to the hotel in Bloodlines. It's easily one of the best, like, top 5 gamer moments in my brain. Because the beach hotel is fucking terrifying. I've done it more than once, and it still makes me, like, clench my butt every time I do that part. I do think that the new Vampire game, the soundtrack is very good. I'm really digging the atmosphere. The atmosphere in the new one is beyond good. It's excellent, most excellent. So if you like kind of like that gritty noir type thing, you'll really dig the atmosphere of it. Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! There's that green, baby. You see that green, you know Dr.D's in the house. All right, we are getting close. Again, I am yet again sitting here thinking, shockingly, that there's not a Vampire the Masquerade miniatures game. Just shocked. I don't know why. I don't know how that's not happened. They got card games and they got, you know, RPGs and they got LARPs. They got all kinds of stuff, but they do not have a minigame. It's very odd. Also, I'm going to do a round of stuff for redeem. So if anybody has a redeem that they would like to put on the show, send me a video or give me a heads up. The one that Chris sent me, I'm definitely going to work on. It's another Aqua Teen, or not Aqua Teen, of course, another Venture Brothers one. So if there's any redeems that you would be interested in getting, send me like a YouTube link or give me an idea like what it is. While I'm drinking my sleepy tea, I'm going to work on it. I think I finally have the presence of mind to put that, I'm here to take your friggin' son, thing from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
The Night Wolf.
Yeah. The Night Wolf! Oh no! I gotta see where you sent me that video, because I remember I couldn't find the video, and then you sent it to me. And then I know you sent it to me on Discord. I gotta scroll all the way back up and see if I can find it. Gentlemen. Okay, I can definitely do that.
Gentlemen.
Behold! Should I do just gentlemen, or should it be gentlemen behold? And should it be any of the ones like more cord? Yeah, should it be any of the specific ones? Should it be the one where it's like empty? And he's like, there's nothing there. He's like, why not? Uh-oh, I forgot the band on top of his head. Uh-oh. You know what? We'll make it green. Just accidentally knock a few off. Just have like two of them.
You can't enter the United
Nations with that weapon.
It's all right, soldier.
He's my
Mr.
bodyguard.
Sampson is my bodyguard.
Just the
Follow
same,
me,
doctor.
doctor.
No weapons allowed. I'll have to confiscate it.
Take it from me.
Go ahead. You know what? That's got to be the next show I slowly make my way through, is actually finishing Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I keep saying that. Venture Brothers. I never did watch like that the last like 2 seasons or whatever. Behold, corn. I'm just excited to have this like really well-painted crew ride up on somebody, jump on their ship, and be like, "This is a pretty nice ship. This is a nice ship. This is a pretty nice ship." Do you think it's big enough? This is a nice ship.
Well, you know what, man? I just got to tell
Yeah,
you, that's a really
nice ship she got there.
That's a really
That's a
nice
nice
grill
grill.
you got there, man.
Look into my eyes.
It's really
Nice.
It's
Really nice. It's really nice. Really nice. Really nice. Really nice.
It's
Really nice. Check this out. The stupid noise they make when he hits the button. Oh! 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 Boop, boop, boop. You decide what you're gonna do, Chris, for the exhaust. Are you just gonna paint it black and be done, or are you gonna try and do the burnt metal? The night wolf. Good night, Bagel. I will see you this weekend, man. I'll see you Sunday. The event starts at 10? 10? I think it starts at 10. Okay, you sent me the thing. Thank you. Look into my eyes. I think he posted it in here. Special events? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, start at 10. Tiny lines. By Jehoshaphat, I think we got a finished model here. I don't, it's funny, this event I'm doing this weekend, I am not entirely sure what the turnout's going to be. I just feel like no one's going to show up, but... I mean, we can make an event out of it with just, like, a couple people. Which, is good enough for me, but... I hope people show up. Eyeball. You gotta do an eyeball. Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, I'll do everything I can to make it so you can go. Even if you don't have enough stuff for natives. The only reason I didn't push more for you this time is because I figured you just didn't want to play because you hadn't really played that much. Otherwise, I was gonna say you could just use my stuff. But like I said, I figured you didn't want to. I think you want to have more practice before you went in. Gosh, diggity dang! I forgot the stupid buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons. My stuff was panic. Go. Am I able to deal with my ignorance? Did you ever finish building your stuff? I think last time I had asked, it's like I don't think I asked last stream. Like a week ago? I imagine you've been busy, so fine either way. Ironically enough, I actually built some natives because of Kara. She wants to use them for Port Royal. And I brought the plastic box with me to work, and so on my lunch break I'd build it. I usually get like 2 of them done on an entire lunch break. Because you gotta sit there and you gotta clean each piece, and then you gotta, all fits, and then... Yeah, I figured. Well, I'll have some natives, funnily enough. Not many, but I got a couple. I don't like that black line just going down his shirt. Or that blank. Make sure it's a blank line. So what would you do anyway when you start painting them? Are you just gonna like power through them all, or are you gonna like do one guy at a time like I do? I really enjoy doing kind of little batches. Like, kind of start them off as little batches and then break them off as individuals once you're, like, done doing some of the bigger pieces to it. I don't know, that's just... That's what gives me the most joy. Yeah, bro. I know what you mean. Yeah, 5 at a time's good. I notice most of the time, like 7 is kind of like the minimum unit size I find most of the time. For a unit. I don't know why that looks so funky.
I saw it when I walked, boy.
What? Ugh, 3 more. I think it's 218. 218 models after today. Ooh-wee boy. Ooh-wee boy. Look, that goes there. Where's my royal purple? Two 218. After these 3, it's 218. Because after Chris's, it was 215. And honestly, if I could just sit down and actually paint a bunch of Jamaican privateers and freebooters, my English should be done for the most part. I don't know. Maybe I'd get to 300 before the end of the year. I'd have to paint more like little stuff, like little boxes or whatever. Maybe we should make that a goal. 300 would be pretty impressive. You and Chris did really good. Again, I find it endlessly humorous that the person that made that challenge didn't paint a single model. We're gonna push for 40? Yeah, dude, you could do that. For sure. Oh, actually, it's a little bit more, because I didn't include those Napoleonic guys that I got permission to put on. I couldn't agree with you more. I was actually going to suggest you do that. Yeah, the you doing that with all those guys is, yeah, astronomically insane. I can't think of another game where there are more than one model on like a base. Like I can't think of like a grunt equivalent. And if it does exist, I bet it's an undead thing. Okay, alright. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, I guess by that means, I guess there's some, like, there's probably war machines and stuff out there. Like, the new Cathay blimp has, like, literally 1 billion models all in that one flying thing. Like, you could probably group a lot of vehicles into that. Or at least like War Machine type stuff. Anvil of Doom, yep. Yeah, the Bastillodons, yeah. And Stegodons, good old Steggies. The Chariots, you could say the Chariots. War Machine Sacred Vault for the gate. Yep, yeah, that's fair. I was thinking specific, like, infantry type, you know, tray type thing. But yeah, you're absolutely right with the procession. I'm sure there exist, you know. I'm just saying, like, even in those situations, it's like, if somebody was asking if all the models on the procession counted as separate models, I'd be like, yeah, bro, yeah, that's fine with me. That thing's like a piece of art. I still to this day want to see them all, but I want to look at the price. Yeah, because I guess they're not making it anymore, right? I'm going to look up a place to send you guys, because I think I'm done. Next stream, we're probably... I'm still on a long dead. Well, I know that, well, because technically it's playable again. It's technically not, you know, it's not dead. Like, it depends on how you want to define dead. It's all playable again, but they're not making it anymore. Anyway, yeah, we'll probably work on Mr. Predator next stream on Sunday. Which I gotta wake up really early on Monday because we're going to New York City. We're gonna go watch the Colbert. We're gonna go watch the Tonight Show or whatever he's on now. I finally get to go to New York for the very first time. I've never been. Inside the city, anyway. But yeah, we'll probably work on Mr. Predator Sunday. At least get some of this. I might work on him a little bit in the meantime. I doubt it, because I got a lot of stuff I want to do for the event. But if I do, I'll probably at least get him ready. But it's a cool looking model. I gotta give it credit. But yeah, one more little group shot. Or not a group shot, I guess, more individuals, but I think it came out really good. I'm proud of him. Gonna look great with their brothers on the boat. Yeah, that's the one good thing about Blood and Plunder, man, is once you have like a full crew on a boat, man, and the boat's painted, it just looks so cool. It's such a cool looking thing. You can just see all the hard work and stuff. It's just, it's nuts. I'm a big fan. Anyway. Whoop. You know who I am. I'm Dr. D. Dr.D. You can find me on Discord. That's Dr. D. Dr.D. There's always a lot of Gundam stuff, I've noticed. It's been so long since I've actually built a Gundam. It's crazy. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for making this such like a bomb stream. You guys are awesome. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. I had a great time. This one's saying it's his first stream. Let's give him a bang. Yeah, thank you again, guys, for joining me. This was an absolutely baller stream. We had a lot of real deep discussions, and we might have invented a new minigame, which is incredible. We're gonna make a hobo-themed murder fest. Reach out to me if there's anything specific you want me to paint, yada yada, blah blah blah. You know who I am. If you don't know who I am by now, I'd be shocked. And I love you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I think you guys are all great. Big fans. And we had a really good time. Hope you guys have a blessed one. I will see you guys Sunday. And...